All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the late start. Let's kick it. All right. Last night's session in the States was rock solid. That is what you call a bull trend line right there. We just literally grinded up higher the entire session, trading up north of 1%, and we're pushing up within 10 points of all-time highs in the S&P very quickly again. So that's, globally, just every market going absolutely crazy, breaking out. We're looking to take out new highs on almost every major market at the moment, and our market included. Now we're starting to push up to break out of trend resistance here. So we'll look at that chart in a little bit. We have all the old dinosaurs of the tech sector all breaking out to new highs yesterday. Cisco at new highs, Microsoft at new highs. What were some of the other ones that I was reading about? I think Intel, a few of the other old technology companies that have been kind of nowhere for a long time that people haven't paid a whole lot of attention to, all making new highs. So I think that's obviously significant for the breadth of the market as an indicator. If you look at January retail sales, actually came out a little bit soft yesterday. Initial jobless claims were a little bit soft as well, but it wasn't enough to shake markets. It actually wasn't enough to move treasury yields at all, totally ignoring those soft data points on the session. If you look at the Asian markets, we had a huge session out of Australia, really driven by the mining stocks. We had Rio Tinto out with much better than expected numbers yesterday. They had initiated a stock buyback. Obviously, I think that actually set a little bit of a precedent and avalanched a lot of the shorts on some of these mining and commodity-related stocks. You started to see a little bit in the States, and it just amplified itself later in the session and then on into Australia. So be really careful this morning, especially with some of those stocks. There are relatively high short interests in a lot of those stocks. And I think today a lot of them get squeezed out, so just be careful out there. Nikkei, a little bit soft this morning because of the stronger yen. That happened, I think, mostly because of comments out of the Japanese central bank yesterday saying that further stimulus might actually have a negative effect. And the rest of the market's also all solid. But the big thing to focus on here, obviously, the diversified miners and commodities really breaking out today. Right. Our chart of interest today is out of Miles Udland from Business Insider and Bespoke Investment Group. The average short interest as a percentage of float on the energy sector. So this is exactly what we're talking about. This is what what I'm saying in terms of the short squeeze. So you can see, even going back all the way to 2008, 2009, when remember we had the oil price collapse and we had a total implosion in markets then. We haven't been anywhere close to this sort of level of short interest. So, I think that there's a real hair trigger right now that may have actually been pulled yesterday by the earnings out of Rio Tinto, and we could really see some explosive moves out of some of these mining stocks in the next couple of sessions. So just watch it. Maybe they give us a great opportunity to short again at some point. But either way, I think in the near term, these things can really push higher. All right, we had ArcelorMittal out this morning. Bigger loss than recent guidance. Looks like a 57 cents guidance is for 38. Revenue's also looking light by about $1.5 billion. No dividend, but the expectation was for no divvy. Anglo's is going to be key. It's supposed to be out at 9 o'clock this morning. We're looking in dollars now. That's expectation at $1.63, revenue at 27.36, and divvy per share at 53. So watch that. One of the conversations I just had with one of the guys in here is, if Anglo's comes out a little bit soft this morning, how much does it really impact, our, Billiton's and that sort of thing? And I actually don't think it impacts it that much because Billiton's much more similar to Rio, so you're probably going to see it be able to hang in there even if Anglo's comes out with soft numbers. And to be honest, even if Anglo's misses a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised to see it come off initially and then reverse back to the upside, simply because some of these shorts are going to be triggered today and it'll be hard to hold any of them down, I believe. All right, if you look at the market data out today, we have GDP out of Germany at the opening bell. We've got European GDP at 12, and we've got University of Michigan numbers at 5 o'clock in the States. All right, let's get into the maps. All right, first thing I want to look at this morning is the ALSI. So we're going to look at this sort of trend resistance going back, draw it from the wicks here. And we are essentially right at trend resistance. I mean, you can almost call that a breakout. I think this was actually huge. We were looking at this level before, and we flirted back and forth at this level for several days. As you can see, that we were up and over it, I think 3 or 4 times within a 4-day span, which is nice. You want to see that consolidation to really give it some impetus to really prove itself. It's broken out here now. You can see us gapping up this morning, and I mean we're virtually almost breaking out here, and I don't see any reasons why we don't make an assault on all-time highs and actually take all-time highs that are up around 47,300. Percentage-wise, it's like less than 2% away. So think about it. I think we're about 1.5% away from that. I just don't see anything holding us back, especially with the weak rand that we're looking at the moment. Chances are we're going to probably take out all-time highs in the next couple sessions. Further to that, if you look at Sasol, I've been short of Sasol for a little while now. It's not been kind to me. I'm really nervous of this thing this morning. You can see here we've consolidated on top of this breakout here at around 455. The move that we saw in the mining stocks overnight, I have a feeling is going to carry over into these things, and we might get up here and see a gap fill closer to the 500 rand level, where we broke down from initially and really got ugly in Sasol. So watch it today. If we get above the previous highs, which are up around 478, 479, I think we make a quick move to $500 in Sasol. All right. The retail sector went absolutely bananas yesterday. Maybe a little bit of a short squeeze there as well. I think some of the people probably shorting on the back of this weaker rand. We had Woolies out with numbers yesterday. I don't even know if they were better or not because they're just so difficult to compare, but they traded up nicely. But the other stocks went nuts. You look at Truworths, you look at Foschini. I mean, every one of these things. I mean, the green bars that they put in yesterday, insane. And I wanted to actually back this out a little bit on Truworths because it's actually a huge level. If you look here at around 86 and 88, this is a huge level. I only say 88 because the wicks are up here, but I think that you can actually even look more toward 86, and you can actually stretch that line all the way across. There's a lot of pivots around this level. So 86, sorry, call it 87. Anyway, somewhere between 87 and 88. If we get north of that, this thing's going to go freaking crazy. I know that the short interest here is massive. Foschini, I think, has maybe drugged this thing up a little bit. They had a trading statement already, which we absolutely bombed on the day that they had trading statements. So the earnings are coming soon, but I don't know if that's even going to be able to hold it back, simply because I think the short interest is big, and I think guys are getting squeezed. So just be really careful with this thing. I think it's got more upside if it gets through that level, and I think it's probably got big upside if it gets through those levels. And the last one we'll look at this morning is Impala. Let me shorten it up a little bit here. So you can see Impala, I'll drag it down all the way here. We're making a bit of a bear flag at the moment. I mean, this thing just could not rally with the rest of the mining sector. Golds and platinums really rolling over hard yesterday, and I think that if we drop support here, which is around, maybe call it 73, we drop 73, I think this thing takes out the lows and heads lower. I mean, they just can't get up. Nobody wants to touch these things, even in this onslaught to the upside. So be careful out with it today, simply because we could see a squeeze and we could see a real hard push in some of these mining stocks. But if this thing isn't able to get up today, then I think it could crack the downside here on support, and it could get ugly in the next couple of weeks. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.